Welcome back to Everlasting Summer, Part 21. I think I remember that. Let's enter this shack, this old camp with Slavia. I gathered up all my courage and crossed the threshold. The inside of the old camp building looked like a kindergarten from my childhood. The layout of the interior, even the rotten furniture, was similar. Well, I shivered, picking out more and more remains of the joy of children long gone with the flashlight. Creepy. Her face, man. Slavia was not only holding my hand by now, but embracing it, firmly pressing herself against me. However, I didn't sense fear in her voice. I wonder whether it was a good idea to come here in the middle of the night. Perhaps not. Shall we go back then? No, what about Shurik? She said in genuine astonishment. Well, Shurik, why did he even come here in the first place? Maybe he isn't even here. Where else could he be? I don't know, eaten by wolves maybe? Don't say that! Slavia frowned and stepped away from me. I was already so used to being with her that I was slightly upset by her reproach. Well, okay. Let's assume that there are no wolves. Though you can never be sure. Well, since we're here, let's search. We searched all the rooms of the old camp. Playrooms, bedrooms, canteen, kitchen, and toilets. I even looked into the closet, which was choked with empty. Am I reading that right? Oh, I didn't read it all, that's why. Which was choked with empty, decayed cardboard boxes. Read the full sentence, Artemis. Look! When we returned to the place we started from, Slavia picked up something from the floor and gave it to me. It was an old doll with torn, frayed threads, missing a hand and an eye, faded from damp. So what? I pity it. What, this doll? Yes. Why would you pity it? Someone played with her, then just threw her away and forgot about her. And she's been here all alone all these years, in the rain, in the cold. I couldn't really tell if Slavia was serious or not. I don't think this is the time to think about such things. On the other hand, what would be the proper time for that? Slavia looked really upset. It's a metaphor! Yes, maybe. I took the doll and examined it. Remember how I once found a stuffed lion in the same way that Slavia just found this doll? I took him home, washed him, and was as careful with him as with other toys, even though he was long past his retirement age. You should give it to Ilyana. Slavia laughed. Suddenly, the wind howled down the passage, singing some kind of eerie tune. A light flashed and I instinctively jumped, caught my leg on something, and tumbled to the floor. Are you alright? Slavia ran over to me and helped me get up. Yes, more or less. I had tripped on a trap door. It's strange that we hadn't noticed it already. The dirt around the door was cleared. It seemed like it was opened not too long ago. We're not going down there, are we? I asked, trying to preempt Slavia's suggestion. She only gave me a sad glance. Come on, are we playing at Diggers now? I moaned while lifting the hatch cover with quite an effort. My common sense was crying out, telling me I shouldn't do this, but contrarily, my logic suggested that if this world wanted to kill me, I'd already be dead. But it's only because of Slavia. Otherwise, there's no way I would go down there. 2 meters of a rusty metal ladder led down to a dirty concrete floor. I leaned over the edge and illuminated a narrow passage, going somewhere into the darkness. And what is there? I think I heard about a bomb shelter under the old camp. I think her voice has changed. I can't tell anymore. If you're expecting consistent voices, this is not the video for you. A bomb shelter? Well, that's pretty logical, considering the time it was built. Why would Shurik need to go there? I don't know. Of course, it wasn't necessarily him who opened the hatch. It's obvious that someone had opened it just recently. But who would be more likely to get the idea of going down there than a mad inventor? If we discard theories of supernatural involvement, there can be no other humans in this forest. Obviously, in a camp occupied by loads of children, there can be no one else in the forest. You three. At least that's what I thought. Alright, I'll go first. Then if everything is fine, you follow me. What might not be fine? Slavia looked scared, but seemed to ask more out of politeness. Well, I don't know. Rats, for example. Are you afraid of rats? Guess I shouldn't have asked. I sighed deeply and began to descend. We advanced slowly, holding hands. In the pitch darkness, the flashlight was not helping much. Only occasionally it would illuminate pieces of old newspapers and scrap metal lying here and there. Suddenly it began to feel as if the walls and ceiling, covered in endless twisting cords, were pressing in on me, as if the passage was getting narrower. I spread my arms, trying to measure the passage's width. Are we still far off? Asked Slavia sadly. Far from where? I've got no clue. Alright. Just then, a massive metal door appeared before me as if from nowhere. Hey Slavia, we're close! Oh! Cried Slavia softly. Oh. I tried the handle, and it seemed to yield a bit. You ready? Not sure. Though, speaking frankly, what could you prepare for in such a situation? The wheel turned a few times, squeaking horribly, then finally reached its limit and went quiet. I pulled on the door with all my weight, and it reluctantly opened. There was some sort of chamber behind it, which turned out to be the bomb shelter itself. I don't think this music loop has actually stopped since I started recording. When we entered, the lights suddenly went on, making me flinch. Though it was likely that there was an independent power source here, at the time when these catacombs had been dug, people had been building things to last. The bomb shelter looked exactly like what I imagined. It had everything needed to sustain prolonged human existence during a war. The lockers contained chemical protection suits, gas masks, dry rations, and water cans. At the far wall I noticed a lot of various tools, pressure meters, radiation meters, a radio, and some others. However, this place looked like nobody had used it, which was not actually that surprising. Furthermore, it looked like nobody had ever entered it after it was built. Slavi gave me a questioning look. I don't think the door would have opened if no one had ever entered it. Well, Shirk is definitely not here. But was he? No idea, but if he was here, he couldn't just vanish. I looked around the room again and noticed another door in the wall to my left. Maybe there. However, the door wouldn't open. What if he barred it from the other side? But why? I don't know. Man, I feel like I'm talking to Elisa again. I don't know. The kid. Still, it was quite possible, assuming he was there at all. By the look of things, Shirk was hiding, maybe running from someone. Such thoughts made me uneasy, and I felt like putting myself on the other side of the door as fast as I could. I pushed harder, but the door only gave a dull creak. Here, maybe this could work. Slavi handed me a crowbar. I go all Half-Life up in this. I feel like I've made that joke before. I fumbled with it, considering how I could better tackle the door. Let's give it a try. Using all my strength, I managed to pull the door off its hinges, and it crashed onto the floor. While I was recovering from my effort, Slavia pointed the flashlight down the newly opened passage. There's a corridor here, just the same as the previous one. Jeez, this place is a real maze. Shall we go? Hold on. I sat down on a bunk, took a dusty pillowcase off a pillow, and wiped my forehead. Let me catch my breath. Slavia sat down next to me and began to study the details of the floor tile patterns. Better turn off the flashlight for now. Oh, yes. She blushed slightly and clicked the switch off. It's just plain creepy. I caught myself thinking that I have not been treating these events as real for the last half an hour. As if they had not been happening to me, as if they were just a dream. Just like back then, 4 days ago, in the first minutes after I found myself here. Yes, lately I might have started getting used to this world, this reality, as it has become reality for me. And that feeling deep in my soul that I had to find an exit was not so acute anymore. But now again, in the blink of an eye, the forest, the old camp, the bomb shelter. There's absolutely nothing supernatural about any of it, but neither was it anything normal, like anything from my previous life. Yes, agreed Slavia. Don't you find any of this strange? What exactly? Well, the fact that we're sitting here, just you and me, in the night. Wouldn't it be normal? Wouldn't it be normal in such a situation to instead wait till morning and call the police? Yes, I guess so, she replied thoughtfully. Of course, I almost volunteered. I shouldn't have. Well, almost isn't quite right, but still. But you just wanted to help. If Shurik is here, we should find him as soon as possible. At this rate, we will be the ones they're looking for. You know, he did manage to get lost in here. Slavia looked frustrated. Alright, I didn't mean anything like that. Maybe he's not here. Maybe he actually went back to the camp a long time ago. Yes, maybe. But we should still check, right? Of course. Slavia got up and held out her hand to me. It seems she wasn't as afraid as me, though I was already tired of being scared myself, and not only wanted all of this to end as soon as possible, and now only one. The corridor was identical to the other one, which we came through to get to the bomb shelter. I was walking at a slow pace, carefully watching the floor and checking from time to time whether the passage was getting narrower. Look! Slavia held my hand tighter and pointed at a breach in the middle of the tunnel. It was wide enough for a man to climb through, or to fall down. Maybe... I pointed the light down there, but there seemed to be nothing but ground at the bottom. I think we should check this out. The hole was shallow enough for us to climb out afterwards, so at first sight there was nothing to be afraid of. I climbed down carefully and helped Slavia. We found ourselves in some kind of mine. The walls and the ceiling were reinforced by wooden beams, and rails stretched out into the distance. Here and there, the earth pressing down against this fragile design broke through the boards, which were rotting with age. It made the whole structure look a bit unreliable. Where do you think we are? Don't know. Some kind of mine. Fucking Captain Obvious here. What could they have mined here? Coal, perhaps? Perhaps. We started to advance slowly. Stones would treacherously shift under our feet now and then. The beam coming from the flashlight trembled and jumped from one wall to the other, often casting shapeless shadows which disappeared as soon as the light was pointed at them. It's scarier here than above. I guess so. The further we went, the stronger my confidence became that Shurik had absolutely nothing to do with this place. He couldn't have been taken by a chupacabra, could he? Isn't that, like, in Mexico? Are we in Mexico? No. We're in Russia. Alright, we can't rule out that possibility either. At last we came to a fork in the tunnel. Where do we go now? I don't know. I tried to inject at least some semblance of calm into my voice, but really had no clue. None at all. Not where to go, not where Shirk was, not even why we were here. What if we get lost? Her voice has changed. Yep. Oh well. Yeah, right. Let's leave a mark that we have already been here. I picked up a rather large stone and carefully carved a cross in one of the logs supporting the ceiling. There. Now I'll know that we've already passed this spot. Good. Slavia smiled. So, which way? Left, 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 right, left. I'm gonna try that. Seems that there's another fork in the road. Left, 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 right. Okay. We came to some kind of miner's camp. Picks and helmets everywhere. Rusty wagon stood in the corner. You've already read this, but whatever. All the items were were so old. They dated from the beginning of the 20th century rather than the middle. So this really is a mine. Which means we could wander around here for ages without finding a way out. But I sensed that exit was somewhere nearby, and so we went further. Okay, another left. Yep. Left. And then a right. And we're gonna go left again if we can. Left. Now I don't know where. Let's go right. I'll do another right. We were just here a few minutes ago. Well, shit. We went in a circle. Go left. Go left. Go right. After every time it brings up that dialogue, it seems to lag for a short second. Like, watch. My cursor will... Nah. Maybe it's when I go over the decisions? I'm watching the frame rate. No? Okay. Let's just go insert. Let's just... Left, right, left, right, left, right. Uh-oh. Wait. What? We returned to the place where we had begun. Look at all those forks on the road. Okay. So we took a wrong turn somewhere. Let's keep on searching. Let's go right this time. So it's possible for me to be down here this entire time, is it? Hey! We found it! Another turn, the flashlight lit up a wooden door. Well, at least that's something. To tell the truth, I was so tired of wandering around this mine that I had completely stopped thinking about Shurik. I only wanted to find an exit as soon as possible. What's behind it? We're just about to find out. Smack, little lady. Past the door, there was a small chamber, which looked either like the utility room of a boiler house or like the one of the bomb shelter's rooms. The floor was littered with empty bottles, and the walls were painted with a mess of graffiti, which meant that other people had more than once visited this place before us. Although, from the look of things, they had done so rather long ago. I was running the flashlight's beam around the room, trying to check every part of it, when suddenly, a wild Shurik appeared. I found Shurik curled up in a corner. "Shurik!" cried Slavia. However, it looked as if he was not paying any attention to us. "Here you are! We've been looking for you all night. Why in the world did you come here?" Shurik looked up at me with hazy, unseeing eyes. "And who are you?" "What do you mean, who are you? Get up already. Let's go." "I'm not going anywhere with you." Shurik turned away and stared into the darkness again. "You want to trick me again. You'll make me go in circles through the tunnels, won't you? Yes, you will. I know you for what you are." Shurik's voice turned into an infernal whisper. "Cut this nonsense out already." I wanted to approach him and pull him upright, but Slavia stopped me. "He's not quite himself." "Well, I'm not quite myself either. You want to hear all night? You sure won't be quite yourself." She shook her head reproachfully and slowly went up to Shurik while carefully staying in the light. "It's all right. It's me, Slavia." "For real?" Shurik looked at her and immediately started sobbing quietly. "Of course. Who else could it be? And that's Semyon with me. We came to find you. Everything's fine now." "Are you really not them?" "Certainly not. We're us." He tried to get up, but was apparently disoriented, and would have fallen if not for Slavia, who caught him by the arm. "Easy there. Careful." Wait, what? Huh. I thought I skipped a line. Nope. When they came up to me, I said, "Alright, time to get out of here." "We can't go back." "Back where? Into the mine?" "Yes." Shurik was speaking calmly, but at the same time his voice was trembling slightly. "Why's that?" "It's where they are." "Who are they?" "The voices." "What voices?" I was starting to lose my patience. This place and this situation certainly weren't normal, but if there had been anything paranormal here, then, by the laws of horror cinema, it should have long since showed its face by now. "Calm down, Shurik. Just tell us everything in detail." He took a few deep breaths and started. "I needed some spare parts." He looks normal now. "Need some spare parts for the robot. And I heard there's a bomb shelter in the old camp. And there's usually a lot of different equipment in bomb shelters. It's old, of course, but worth disassembling. You can always find coils, resistors. So I went in the early morning. I thought I could finish quickly and get back by breakfast. I got everything I needed." He took some light bulbs and wires out of his pocket and showed them to us. But then, up there in the bomb shelter, I heard some sounds from behind the door, something like moans or wailing. At first I got scared, but then I thought that a person could be in danger. So I went in there. And there was this mine. This goddamn maze. Where'd the god come from? This damn maze. I got completely lost. And the voices always telling me something. Sometimes shouting, sometimes whispering. And I can never make out the words. He was ready to burst into tears, but Slavia patted him gently on the head, and Shurik continued. Anyway, I found this room. At least here you can't hear them. So you decided to sit and wait for rescue, like in a B film? I asked sarcastically. Slavia shot an angry glance at me. Well, in any case, it's time to get out, if there are no objections. Come, I know a shortcut. A shortcut? Yeah, you know, I walked all over this place. Alright. Why didn't he leave if he knows the way out? Hey, at least he's not being that creepy, as creepy as he was last time. I just noticed that the word obey is scratched into the wall over here. Shurik did not lie. Indeed, after wandering for just about 2 minutes in the mine, we found ourselves under a grate, through which we could see the sky. Then why didn't you get out yourself? Try it, you'll see. I pulled myself up and pulled up on the grate a few times. It's true, you can't break it just like that. Gotta use something heavy, like Shurik. I looked down at Slavia and Shurik. Try the flashlight, maybe? I had the flashlight oh no, I didn't. I just lost it and just walked away, never mind. The flashlight. I fumbled with it. It's not one of those cheap Chinese fakes from the 90s. 90s? 2000s, 2010s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Which I used to have a lot of in our summer cottage. No, it was a real Soviet durable metal flashlight. Straight from Mother Russia. Not a hammer, of course, but if I tried hard enough. Well, last time you used your arm, so... I swung it and started smashing at the grate, aiming for the spots where it was attached to the wall. Soon I got lucky. I heard cracking sounds, and a few bolts fell down. A minute later, I was lying on the grass under the monument and breathing in the fresh night air with delight. Although after the mine, any air would seem fresh. Well then, I'll be going. Thank you. Shurik looked a bit lost. I eyed him questioningly for a bit, but ended up saying nothing, and just waved my hand for a goodbye. At least this time the voices won't get me. After all, I had neither the strength nor the will to talk with him. Talk with him. And what would I say to him? Scolding him now is no use, and the same probably goes for trying to learn anything. What a night. Slavia was sitting next to me and looking dreamily at the moon. Right, so, if someone told me just a week ago that I would go to a pioneer camp and would even have to crawl through bomb shelters. But it was fun. In a way. There was indeed something amusing about all of this. But there was also something strange. During the last few hours, absolutely anything could have happened to me, but in the end, nothing at all happened. In a couple of years, I would probably remember this just as a funny incident from childhood. If I lived that long. What do you think? Did you really hear something there? I don't know. It's possible, of course, but most likely it was just his imagination. In such a situation, anyone could start imagining things. That was not only the most logical explanation, but also the most probable one, because nothing had happened to me in Slavia. Well, I, for one, think he should go see a psychiatrist. Oh my god, he was probably walking in the dark with no flashlight or anything. Guess he should, laughed Slavia. Alright, time to go to bed. I felt like I needed to say something to Slavia this song again. I was not sure that I wanted to, but I could feel the need. Thank you. For what? She gave me a surprised look. I wouldn't have managed without you, but in a different timeline. It was nothing. Slavia blushed. I was in her debt. Again. Wonder how I could repay her, at least partially, for all that she has done for me. The moonlit kiss. I stared at the night sky, slowly falling asleep. All of today's adventures left me so tired that I had no more strength left. You're not gonna fall asleep there, are you? You know, under different circumstances, I would have surely confessed my love to you, I said, losing touch with reality. Thoughts usually work much faster than common sense. But Slavia wasn't there anymore. It's probably for the best. At least she didn't hear. It was strange. Why did she leave without saying goodbye? Well, whatever. I'll sleep on it and see you in the morning. Just don't sleep on statue. Good. Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good. I was so tired that I barely made it to the leader's cabin. But there was a light in the window. That means she's waiting for me. And that, in turn, means that I'm in for a lecture again. And this time it will be just as pointless as ever. I had absolutely no desire to discuss whether I was right or wrong. The deck chair standing nearby was beckoning me like a friend, as if suggesting I should sleep in it, forgetting about the mine, Shurik, the camp leader. Here you are, I said blankly, still looking at my deck chair. Semyon! Yeah. We found Shurik. Slavia will give you the details tomorrow, and now I'd really like to sleep. She looked at me confusedly for a moment, and then replied, Oh, well, fine. I don't know if mentioning Slavia played its role, but half a minute later I was already in my bed. The events of the day kept turning over for a short while in my head, but soon it started to ache, and it was as if my consciousness switched to safe mode and started to reboot. There we go. Day 5 out of 7 days, so we're almost there. We ran with the last of our strength, like those who run for their precious lives. We've seen this before. Yes, the heavy metal door. Bomb shelter's going boop boop boop. Wait, do I know who this is now? Because it was like, nope. It is still just a... Yeah. Still just an unnamed girl. Who, if my thoughts are right, is Yulia? I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. It took me some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. Skip. No. Yeah, that's all electronic. Good morning. Without him, I don't even. I've seen red. Seeing if maybe say anything different. Because Slavia. But no. No. I know soon we're getting something maybe different. Or at least the girls are coming by. Going from the footpath, what the voice says. So yeah. Seen it! Just, if I hold down enter, it goes a lot faster. You know. We've seen all of this, so I'm just skipping it personally. Okay, does it say to go anywhere? No. Supposedly, my next decision is thanks to the girls. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I don't remember what my decision is. This is what I get for skipping everything so fast. Let's go to the kitchen dining hall. How I took good care. Oh, because I hurt myself. And now I was able to walk and my feet weren't hurting much. So my feet will heal up eventually, while hunger drives the wolf from the woods. Surely the pioneers didn't finish up everything. At least a couple of sausages, eggs, or in the worst case, a few pieces of bread should be left. It was so deserted and quiet around the canteen that I even hesitated for a second. Isn't it here where every pioneer seeks his happiness 3 times a day, and some even more often? Isn't it an oasis of this heated summer desert? Isn't it a secret chemical lab studying how types of meals unknown to science affects immature teenage bodies? Now this building looked more like a bastion, abandoned by its defenders. A kind of La Rochelle left by the Huguenots. I don't know. Just get in and the ghosts of warriors who accepted a heroic death here will surround you. The canteen looked the way it always did, though. It was just completely empty, except for Miku, who was cleaning a table. Seeing that, I quickly turned around and tried to sneakily escape, but didn't manage to make it. Hi, Semyon. Did you come here to eat? You missed breakfast, didn't you? I didn't see you. You could have been there, but I didn't see you. It's good that you came anyway. Hi. Well, yes, I just came. Wondering if there is anything left, maybe. There's nothing left. You need to wait for lunch. You won't help me. You won't help me, by the way. I'm cleaning up here. Wait, did she say you won't help me, or? No. English. What for? What do you mean? She puffed up her lips and seemed offended. Somebody has to clean up. We do it in turns. You'll have your turn as well. Sure, there's more than 7 people. Oh, 7 times. I'm sure there's more than 21 people here. Thanks, but no. Okay, I got it. Okay, got it. I was going to leave, but Miku still couldn't stop. So, will you help me? It actually doesn't say that this is a choice for her. For her route. Obviously saying okay would, but no. Okay, fine. Looks like I've upset Miku. I don't care. I don't want Slavia. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Leaving the canteen, I sat on the bench, standing by the door, and sighed tiredly. My feet were still hurting a bit, although not as bad as before, and there was still nothing in my stomach. Oh Jesus! I just noticed that I'm 30 minutes goes fast. That went really fast. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna end this. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.